Hi guys, my name's Jenoah and today I will start a new series called How to Create Your Own Website. So in this series I will show you how to create your own website from scratch without any experience, and this is accessible for everyone that has access to a computer with internet. And yeah, let's just start right away. So first of all, we will be programming in a language called HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and we will also be programming in CSS. So these are the languages we will be using, and in order to write these languages we need to have an editor. So you can just do this all in a notepad application, but I do recommend another external third-party application such as Brackets. That is what we will be using in these tutorials, and just go to brackets.io and download their latest version. And trust me, this program is safe. They cooperate with Adobe and I've used this a lot and it just works. So just download Brackets, install it, and when you open up you will see something like this, maybe a few files preloaded, but just discard them. So then what you want to do is go to wherever you want, create a new folder, and make sure that folder is empty, just like this. Drag that folder into Brackets and you will see something like this. So over here, you want to create a new file and call that index.html. And if you made any spelling mistake, just rename it and make it properly. Okay, so your font might be a little bit smaller, but in sake of the tutorials, I will create a bigger font. Okay, so in here you want to create a tag, and if you do not know what a tag is a word that stands between those brackets. And from now on, I will call these bracket tags. Okay, so let's create a tag with the word HTML. And when you close the tag, it will automatically create another tag with /HTML. But I will just go deeper into that right now. So we basically have just created a little area in which we can store the code and tell the code specific things only for this area. So right now we have created the HTML tag, and every code that we are going to write is in this HTML tag. So we want to create an opening tag. So in this case it is the HTML tag, and you also want to create a closing tag, and this closing tag will be the same as your previous tag name, but with a slash in front of it. And if it has a slash in front of it, then that means that it is closed. Okay, so we have now created the HTML tag, and everything we will do that is visual for the user will be in between this HTML tag. So let's go into the HTML tag and create another tag, which is the body tag. And as we close this, Brackets will automatically create the closing tag whenever it needs a closing tag, because there are also some tags that do not require a closing tag because you only need a title for that. So why just create a closing tag? Okay, so in this body tag you actually create everything that is visual. I also said that for the HTML, but in the HTML code we will also put every other piece of code. So let's say you want to link a file, or you want it to cooperate with another file. You'll do that just in the HTML tag, but not in body tag. So let's just make it easy for everyone. HTML has sort of corpse in it. It has a head tag, it also has a body tag, and it also has a footer tag. So we sort of have a corpse. I purposely do not say body because we have an individual body tag. So yeah, okay. So we now have our body tag, and in our body tag, once again, we'll put everything that is visual for the user. And let's just create one more tag, which is the P tag. So the P tag stands for paragraph, and everything you put in this tag will be text. So it's just a paragraph of text. So let's just say hello. So if everything is alright, we should now have a website with only the word hello, because we told it to create a HTML tag. So we have told it that we have an HTML tag and we have a body tag. So these HTML and body tags do not have anything visual by themselves because we haven't edited this. But the p tag has something visual, and the thing that is visual is between these p tags, and in our case that is the word hello. So let's just preview this. And how can we do that easily? Well, if you have Google Chrome installed, we can just easily go to the right of our screen, click that Thunderbolt icon, which should say live preview if you hover over it, and then we come on this page and it says hello. So that's great. That means that our code works. Okay, so this works, but let's just explain it a little bit more. Okay, so the HTML tag, we put all the code in it, including linking files, other files, and just everything. Also the visual parts. And in the body tag, you will only put the visual parts. This is to keep it more organized. I am not saying that any linking files or any other files will not work in the body tag, but just for the sake of organization, just don't put it in the body tag. Only if it is really necessary or you are fairly sure that it still is organized. So okay, we now have this, but it seems it's very boring. So let's just add a background color. So in order to do that, we will need to create another file, which is called style.css. This is a style sheet, and in this style sheet we will just define the style of a certain block. And what I mean by block is actually an area on the website. So let's say the body tag. So we want everything from this body tag to be affected by the thing that we are going to write in the style.css file. Okay, so let's just start by typing body to let the HTML file know that this part particularly only is working for the body tag. And let's open it with a curly bracket. It will automatically close it if you have the same settings as me. And everything that is between these curly brackets will be affected on the body tag. So for now there's nothing in it, so it will just look the same. So we now have this. So let's say we want to give it a different background color. So how do we do that? Well, just type in background color. So just like this. And you get a lot of different options. So you can choose any color you want, but I do not suggest taking one of these colors. I suggest you go to a website called htmlcolorcodes.info. So on this page you can just find many colors, and let's say we want to have a bluish color. Just click on the color, just copy this strange character formation. This is called a hex code. So whenever I talk about hex codes, I mean a color code with a hashtag in front of it and 6 characters. These can either be numbers or letters. So in our case, in order to get this particular blue, we will need to get hashtag A9F5F2. But if you are working along with this tutorial, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as me. So if you would like a more yellowish color, just go to that color, click on it, and just copy that code. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. Okay, so let's just paste it and close it off with this. I'm sorry, I do not actually know how this is called, but I think it's called a dot comma. Okay, so this is called a semicolon, and I did not know that before, but I know now. So in the next tutorials it will be called a semicolon. So you want to put this at the end of every line in your CSS file. Okay, so CSS cannot really read enter, so that is why we do this, because if we do not add this character, then it thinks that it is just one very long word. So just add this at every enter you do. So we now have added the background color, but there's a slight problem. It doesn't show up, and that is because we haven't linked that file to our HTML file. So in order to do this, we are going to create a new tag above the body tag, which is called the head tag. It will automatically close, and in this head tag you will create another tag. Yes, I know there are a lot of tags, but that's just HTML, which is called link. But do not close it yet, because this is a tag that does not have to be closed. In this tag we will just add some options, and these options are in the tag only. We do not have to add anything else. So let's tell that we want to link a type of file. So what type of file? Well, we'll just type in type, and then we want to add a text/CSS file, because obviously this is a CSS file. So then we wanted to tell that it is a style sheet. I accidentally misclicked. And then we want to tell the HTML file what file we actually mean. So in order to tell HTML which file we actually mean to link a file, we will add the option href. And when you press enter, you can just choose your file. In my case it is style.css, but if you have another name than style, then you just have to put it here. So let's say you have to call it color, then that still works, as long as your style.css file, it's also called color.css file. But in my case I always call it style.css, so why not? Then just close this, and as you can see, it does not create another tag with /link, just because this is not necessary. And as you can see, brackets automatically tells you that this is invalid, so just remove it and everything should work fine. So let's go here, and as you can see, our background color works, and that is just great. But what if we want something like a title? Well, we just create another tag above the p tag in our body section, and let's say h1. So h1 stands for header 1, if I was correctly, and this is actually just a massive piece of text. You probably do not want to type a whole story, just something like a title or something. Just okay, so let's say hello world. So let's save, go to here. So as you can see, we have the word hello world, and we also have the word hello, and these are in two different tags, so it has something to do different. In this case, the h1 tag stands for another size. So this is actually the basic of this first tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you want to learn something more, just post it down in the comments. Of course there will be a part 2, but if you have something specific to learn, so let's say you want to add an image, I can teach you that in the next episode. So if you want to stay up to date, just don't forget to subscribe, click the bell icon in order to immediately know whenever the next episode is up. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.